Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, sorry we didn't get the review done in the same as the demo, but the demo took 20 minutes. So, if you haven't seen it yet, check the demo out on this thing. It is just, oh. Anyways, so at the demo side of things, I've gone through a lot of frustration since yesterday, like mental frustration, like I was ready to just, you know, because I couldn't get the software to run. Checked forums, everything. Nobody could ever get this thing to run on Mac or a PC, right? And I'm like, okay, this is not good for Blackstar. And yet they have like tons of releases of update, firmware, right? And every time you download the newest version of Insider, it also usually comes with a firmware update or other stuff. But anyways, the basic instructions are pretty good. One of the things I wanted to talk about was factory reset. They tell you how to do it exactly in this paper, and that means you hold down all three buttons at once, turn the power on. On your preset area over here, the big knob here, well, not big, but you know, it has all your different crunches, overdrives. Those are the lights that are going to light up. That's what they mean, okay, when they talk about voice LEDs. So those are your voice selections. And it'll start at the very top and it'll go ding, 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 ding to the last one. And then it'll also relight your manual to preset switch light so that it's lit again. And then you can let go of the buttons. Do not let go of the buttons before it's done doing that, or they say it's going to go bad for you. So you can keep that in mind. Anyways, so with this, I got rid of the frustration. I found out what my problem was. So hopefully this video also helps anybody who's watching this that has also been like frustrated, right? So the deal is, Blackstar does not give you a USB cable, and it's one of these micro type, but it's not the small micros, it's the larger type. Anyways, it is a specific cable. Now it doesn't necessarily have to have these coils on it, but it has to be the right kind of a sync cable, okay, for the data and stuff, because this can be used as a guitar interface to go into your DAW with, or you could use it for programming the amp, which is kind of really fun, cool software. And it can make your life a little easier too, and other things that you get to play with that you can't from the top panel, okay? So, anyways, it just simply plugs right in. Now, unfortunately, this is a short one, so yeah, I can't even sit here with my laptop because my ports are on the right-hand side, not the left. But I do have to find a larger cable, so after I'm done doing this video, I'm going to Canadian Tire. I'm going to buy one of those 10-footers because they are supposedly a charge sync, and we're going to see if it works, and if it does, cool. Then I'll have a longer cable, and then of course I'll do an update. It'll be a short update if it works. If it doesn't work, well, I don't know, maybe I'll let you know either way. But that cable works perfect. Do not use a USB extension. This is where my headache was. And between my Mac and my PC, I'm sure both. Now the Mac side, the software has only been updated in the firmware and the program up to Mac OS Mojave. It is not Catalina compatible apparently, or anything higher. So now that doesn't mean that it necessarily won't work. They just said that they've written it to work up as high as Mojave. So I don't know if they've tested it on Catalina, but it's anybody's guess. So on the Mac side, you may or may not have to have an older Mac kicking around in order to use the software for the amp. However, good news is, even if you're not a PC fanatic or fan of any kind, Windows 7 or above, and my HP laptop that I have has Windows 11, and it works absolutely perfect, okay? No hassles with the software on Windows 11. So when they say 7 and newer, they're not kidding. On the Mac OS, they say with, I think it's like Lion or Tiger or whatever, and newer up to Mojave. This is where they ended it. So we're not sure about Catalina. I can't test that. I don't have a Mac here that can run Catalina. So I don't know. I don't even have a Mac here that can run Mojave. The highest I get is High Sierra on my 2009 iMac. My wife's got, I believe, a 2010 MacBook Pro. Hers only goes to High Sierra. Yeah, and I do have an older eMac that I think goes to like Snow Leopard or something, or Lion, I think. But yeah, none of my older Macs can go. And my newest Mac is an M1 and it's Ventura, and the software won't even try and install it. It's completely blocked by Apple. You can't even hit the Open Anyway button because it won't come up for you. So it's kind of like, well, I'm kind of yanked there on the M1, but you got to kind of figure. But either way, if you do have an Intel Mac that can run up to Mojave, you should have no problems. Try Catalina. If your Mac can run Catalina, try Catalina. If it runs, let us know, because I'm sure everybody would like to know if it can go to Catalina. And then maybe even if you've got Big Sur capable, try Big Sur, just to see. I mean, sometimes we lose programs, sometimes we don't. It's kind of a pig and a poke. In the Windows world, though, hey, I'm running Windows 7 video games on a Windows 11 decked out to the nines laptop gaming system. So, yeah, I have no issues there. And like I said, my HP laptop, it's Windows 11, and it's running this software just fine. No hassles. So, but you have to have the right USB cable. Alright, so the thing sounds great. It's got programmability that actually does work. Now we know why people probably have their problem. They used the right cable and they used an extension to get more length, or they had the wrong cable, or whatever, who knows. But it's definitely a cable issue somewhere. Anyhow, the amp in itself, sounds fantastic. It's pretty straightforward. It's a lot of fun. It sounds great. The IFS circuit on this is your global EQ, basically, where you can just rotate it between basically a US sound, a British sound, and everything in between. That's kind of like your EQ system on this, and it's really well done. My Blackstar HD5 tube amp has an IFS separate from the 3-band EQ, so it gives me even further tone shaping capabilities above and beyond, where this is a straight IFS, which kind of conglomerates everything into one little chunk. But like I said, with the software, you can manipulate some other features that you cannot do through the top side here. Okay, so you want to make sure you can get that software running properly. So find the right cable, and you're good to go, okay? And install, at least for Windows, right up to Windows 11, no problem. All right, so now I'm still a little bit kind of, I'm happy, but I'm also a little annoyed. I had asked Acclaim Sound and Lighting, where I bought this from, how long's it been on the market? They said 3. Turns out it's more like about 7. I've seen videos of the ID Core 10 from 7 years ago. Now, I don't know if it's even older than that, who knows, but at least 7 years. But they said it has been discontinued. And it's kind of like, well, whatever. So he gave me 10% off. I tried for 20, but he said no. I'm like, come on, it's, do me a solid here, 20. They're like, no, we can only do 10. I said, all right. So $203 and I think 35 cents or something out the door Canadian. And, it's a good deal, and it is limited edition, so they didn't make very many of them with this pattern on the front and the different top panel. And the other one they have in the ID Core 10 is just all black. So it's kind of like, but they had tons of those, right? But this was a limited edition, and I got the last one in North Bay, at least that I'm aware of anyways. So you probably won't see too many of this one floating around. There are a few on YouTube. Some people did get them. But I don't know globally how many Blackstar made in this limited edition run. But it is a cool looking amp as far as the graphics go. But looks don't create good sound, as you know. It's the rest of it that makes the difference. And boy, it's a really nice amp. And I think when I would compare this to something like, say, the Yamaha THR-10-2, now keep in mind that is a 20 watt amp, but I think that this thing is actually a lot better in a lot of ways over the THR for literally less than half the money, because the regular retail on this is $200. The THR is like, what is it, $489 or something like that, $469. I could have had it for like $459 or something like that. It was ridiculous. But, still a good amp, great quality. I still want to get one eventually because I really like it. And it does have a nice sound. And it does offer some stuff like dedicated chorus only, for example, where this is chorus and flanger mix. But, you won't really hear the flanger over the chorus unless you really crank the level of the effect up more, then you're going to definitely hear that. And it's kind of like, well, just dial it down a bit, just get your chorus effect you want, and just maybe a hint of that other, and you're okay. But I was more concerned when I was looking for an amp. I wanted something that I just wanted to have anything that at least had reverb in it. I didn't care about all the other features. As long as I had reverb and it was affordable in my budget, I'm in. Because I bought a guitar yesterday too, you know, so it's kind of like, well, there goes, you know, half my paycheck on a guitar now. You know, and I had other bills to pay, and it's like, well, I also want an amp too, because I want to leave my Marshall at the church. Long McQuaid, all they had to offer me was a Fender Champion 20, and I tried one more time to try and take to it. I can't, so I said no. $180 is too much to pay for something that I don't really like, and it's more for the student, but for my students, but I also want to like it too to do stuff with it. So it's got to work for both sides, and that didn't. But this works for both sides without a hiccup. So I kind of like this, and now I can leave my Marshall at the church, and I got something here for when the students are here. Got something for me to play around with, something different than my Blackstar HT5. You know, so it's all different. And I love the Blackstar amps. You know, it's fantastic. Ever since I got my tube amp, I'm like, I'm never parting with the thing, you know. And even the manager along McQuaid a couple of times, he says, so Kev, ready to turn in that Blackstar yet? And the last time we talked about it, I was like, yeah, you want to give me a Katana 100 watt Mark II and I'll swap you even. And it's like, ooh, not going to happen. You know what I mean? Anyways, I trade in a lot of gear, right? You get it? And I also came home with another guitar today. I didn't buy it, though I rented it for now. So stay tuned. I do have a guitar gear video coming up probably later today, if not tomorrow. We'll see when we get to that one. And but yeah, for now I say I give this thing, providing you have the right cables, and definitely Windows 7 to Windows 11, you're fine. Mac OS, you should be fine up to Mojave. I do have to retest this again now that I have the shorter cable, but I'm hoping that when I buy this longer cable, because I know they are charge sync cables, I'm hoping that cable does work. And if it works on my PC, it'll work on my Mac. And that means I don't have to move another desk in here. So let's cross our fingers on that one. Anyways, so yeah, the amp doesn't run on batteries, but I didn't care. Doesn't matter to me. I like the carry handle, makes it easier to cart it around with you, that's for darn sure. You could even put a guitar strap on there if you wanted to and just sling it over your shoulder instead. So kind of nice. Very nice little amp though. I just gotta say it is a really nice amp. So I do have to give it a solid 4 out of 5 either way. I just wish Blackstar would have kept up at least until Big Sur for the updates before they would have kiboshed it. Because, you know, this is still, I think it would be a great practice amp for kids. They got a lot of stuff in there. It's great for anybody, really, but especially for the kid market. It's definitely a great kids amp. I would recommend this over any Line 6 for sure, and many other brands out there, including Fenders, because, man, you get a lot in here. You get great stereo sound from those speakers. It's just a really nice piece of kit. You don't have to use the software if you don't want to. Kind of like any other modeling amp. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you do get benefits with the software that you don't get top panel. So that's something to keep in mind. And very straightforward and easy to use. So what can you do, right? It's just an all-around really neat amp. But I do think that, you know, for a discontinued product, even for the limited edition, they should have knocked it back to, you know, maybe $150. You know, I mean, I only got basically $20 off, I guess, which really isn't a lot, but it's something at least. You know, 10% off at $200 is $20. You know, so I did get a little bit of a discount. You know, but that's also because it's also discontinued and whatnot, and you can't get any more of these limited editions unless you find one for sale used somewhere. And if you do, this is a pretty cool looking amp in any studio, you know, or any man cave too. But they do have the all black one too if you can't find one of these, and it's the same amp. So there you go. Anyways, that's where I'm at. 4 out of 5. I think that's more than fair. And I have solved everybody's headaches as far as getting software to work. Now we know what the problems could have been with them. I will try and post it on that one forum at least, as long as I don't have to open up an account, because I really don't want to open up an account. So hopefully I can post it that way, but hopefully they also find it on this. And do stay tuned too. I will do a programming video on this as well. I just got to learn the software, which won't take me long, but it's going to be a few days yet. You know, I'm back to the full swing of things with my regular job again, so you know, videos aren't going to be every single day and 10 videos a day kind of thing anymore. It's going to be kind of a little bit more spread out. But as soon as I can get to that video for the software on how to run it for this, I will definitely do that for you guys and give you the full scoot. And I will also tell you at that time too if that longer cable I'm going out to buy tonight actually works. Because if it does, it's going to be a huge benefit. Anyways, I'm out of here. Thank you. See you later.